Underestimating penguins can have dire consequences, as exemplified by a colossal predator bird that learned its lesson the hard way when it targeted a cluster of emperor penguin chicks. The attacker, seeking a swift and effortless meal, was in for an enormous surprise when an unexpected champion emerged, coming to the rescue of the defenseless chicks. Emperor penguins, the largest penguin species on Earth, command attention with their impressive stature, standing at a little over 4 feet or 1.2 meters tall. Cloaked in their striking black and white plumage, they exude an air of regal elegance that befits their appearance. These remarkable birds endure the harsh Antarctic climate, braving bone-chilling temperatures that plummet to a staggering -50 degrees Celsius or -58 degrees Fahrenheit. Their exceptional survival skills allow them to plunge to depths exceeding half a kilometer or 1,640 feet in the frigid sub-zero waters in pursuit of sustenance. Apart from their resilience, emperor penguins are also famous for their mesmerizing dance moves, immortalized in movies like Happy Feet. Though these adults possess a majestic allure and formidable size, their early days bear little resemblance to their sleek and polished selves. When emperor penguin chicks emerge from their shells, they are adorned with a coat of gray feathers, so soft and fluffy that they appear ethereal. These hatchlings are incredibly tiny, weighing a mere 150 to 200 grams or 5 to 7 ounces, while adult penguins tip the scales between 22 to 30 kilograms or 48 to 66 pounds. Additionally, these adorable chicks have only a thin layer of down and lack the ability to regulate their body temperatures. It takes approximately 50 days for them to develop this crucial skill. During this vulnerable period, the responsibility of providing warmth falls upon their parents. Snugly fitting into the brood pouch, the chick finds solace and protection as the nurturing parents tend to its every need. Devoted guardians, the parents diligently care for their offspring for the initial 5 months, never leaving them alone to fend for themselves. Emperor penguins embody both grace and fortitude, surviving in the harshest of environments and displaying remarkable parental dedication. From their grand stature to their fluffy beginnings, these incredible birds captivate our imagination with their ability to adapt and thrive in the face of extreme adversity. At such a young age, the parents take turns to go off to hunt for food for themselves and their baby. Finally, after 5 months of caring for the baby penguin and making sure it grows big and healthy, the parent emperor penguins abandon their chicks and leave them to fend for themselves in the harsh environment of Antarctica. It's a difficult choice to make, because if they leave the chick too early and it doesn't have enough energy reserves to finish molting its baby, feathers into proper adult ones, it will die and the parents will have wasted an entire breeding season. However, if they continue feeding the chick for too long, they may compromise their own ability to feed and fatten up for their own molt. Adults have to almost double their body mass before the molt. When they start shedding their old feathers, their plumage is no longer waterproof, and they cannot go to sea and feed. So for the month that it takes to replace the old feathers, they depend solely on the body fat that they accumulated after leaving their chick to hunt and fatten up. Once left on their own, the chicks are forced to find their own food and water. This means that they must make their very first journey to the sea in the hope of catching some fish to eat. This is the time where these juvenile penguins learn how to swim, hunt, and fend for themselves. And it's a crucial moment in these animals' lives if they hope to be able to survive long enough to become adults themselves. Once the penguins reach the sea, they will often stay at sea for up to 6 years until the time that they have reached maturity and are ready to return to the penguin colony in order to mate. But before that can happen, these adorable little fluff balls have to make the perilous journey across the snow and ice and to the ocean. Because of how dangerous the journey is, though the chicks often stick together in groups, as it's harder for a predator to get them when they stand together. But it was a particular group of penguin chicks that suddenly got stuck in a very scary situation. It had started off as a normal day for one small group of chicks. They had woken up from their sleep, hungry and ready for their parents to give them their breakfast. When the chicks suddenly realized that their parents were nowhere to be found, they had simply disappeared. This could only mean one thing. It was time for the chicks to stand on their own 2 feet and start making their own way in the world. The juvenile penguins, who still had patches of their baby feathers, slowly made their way towards the sea, waddling in their adorable little way. The rough and rocky terrain of the Antarctic land made it hard for the group of chicks to properly walk, and so they journeyed at quite a slow pace towards their destination, trying to avoid slipping over and injuring themselves, as that would simply be a death sentence. Eventually, the small group of chicks found themselves on an open and flat, expansive land. They were closer to the sea now, but suddenly something large and terrifying swooped down and got in their way. A huge bird of prey, a petrel, had spotted the group of chicks and had decided to make them its lunch for the day. Petrels are aggressive and opportunistic birds who will scavenge most of their food. They eat penguins, albatross, seal, and whale carrion, ship offal and kelp, and for a giant petrel, a group of baby penguins is easy pickings. Upon seeing the bird, the chicks initially tried to run away, but their small legs weren't used to running on land, which resulted in one of the chicks actually falling over. Seeing it as a chance for a meal, the petrel grabbed the chick by its neck, but just as it looked like things might be over for the baby bird, another fall saw the animal able to escape its captor and waddle back to its group. After rejoining their small group, the penguin chicks huddled closely together, creating a tight circle that left little room for the giant predator bird to make a move and snatch one of them. The chicks' defensive formation shielded them from all angles, bringing the struggle to a stalemate, with the chicks refusing to yield and break their united front, and the predator adamantly persisting in its pursuit of a meal. The situation grew increasingly grim for the vulnerable babies. However, just as despair began to settle in, an unexpected savior emerged. Out of nowhere, an Adelie penguin sprinted towards the group of chicks and the lurking predator. Adelie penguins, medium-sized and weighing between 3 to 6 kilograms or 6 to 13 pounds, stand at 70 centimeters or 27 inches tall. Their distinguishing feature is the white ring encircling their eyes. Males and females appear similar, making them challenging to differentiate. Despite their smaller stature compared to emperor penguins, Adelie penguins are known for their fierce protective instincts, defying any assumptions of harmlessness inspired by the cheerful quartet of waiters in Mary Poppins. Spotting the giant predator near the emperor chicks, the Adelie swiftly launched itself at the bird of prey, positioning itself between the predator and the vulnerable chicks. The tense standoff persisted as the remarkably feisty Adelie refused to back down. Eventually, the predator succumbed to fear and took flight, casting a final glance at the chicks before disappearing into the sky in search of an easier target, one lacking the presence of an angry little Adelie penguin. But the courageous penguin didn't stop at merely saving the chicks. It took on the role of an escort, guiding the chicks all the way to the ocean. Ensuring they encountered no further perils, the Adelie penguin watched over them until they reached the safety of the sea, leaving the chicks to navigate the waters on their own. Undoubtedly, the chicks won't soon forget their extraordinary hero. This remarkable Adelie penguin proved itself to be an exceptional guardian, etching a lasting memory of its bravery in the minds of the grateful chicks. Surprisingly, these charming beings possess an unexpected fistiness. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on this video. Share your comments below and let me know what you think.